The County General Hospital was located a few miles outside the city, an old but still functioning medical facility established long before modern expansions. The hospital buildings had pale yellow walls with chipped paint and broken eaves. At the back of the hospital was the morgue, a separate, isolated room where only those who had to enter would go. It had 4 windows, 3 ordinary ones, and a 4th that was always kept shut. Dr. Patricia "Pat" Sanders had just been assigned to this hospital. She was about 32 years old and had recently completed her residency as a forensic specialist. Confident and determined, she felt a twinge of nervousness at being posted in the morgue for the first time. Until now, she had only read about corpses in textbooks, never faced them in real life. Her first meeting was with George, who had been the morgue assistant for the past 30 years. White-haired, stooped, but with a face always marked by a serious warning. His body was frail, but his eyes reflected deep experience. Everything in the morgue ran according to his rules. Another person worked there too, AJ, young and carefree, but efficient when it came to work. Sometimes he bent the rules, but he was popular among the nurses. His attitude was light-hearted, though occasionally he got overexcited. Running the hospital was Dean Graham, a strict administrator well over 60, but sensitive at heart. He took old traditions seriously and often said that some things were beyond logic. Night shifts were handled by senior nurse Kate, sharp and vigilant, noticing even the smallest details. But even she avoided lingering near the morgue. She had witnessed many strange occurrences over the years, but never spoke openly about them. When Dr. Pat Sanders was assigned to the morgue, she thought of it as just another government job. Check the bodies during the day, file reports, and head home in the evening. But on her first day, when she entered the morgue, George stopped her. "Ma'am, open the 3 windows if you need light, but never touch the 4th window." "Why? Is it haunted?" she asked. "Those who mess with it, they laugh once, then leave. That's all I can tell you." Pat took it lightly, dismissing it as superstition. But it was the beginning of a story that would slowly become part of her life. 6 years earlier, another doctor had worked here, Dr. Johnson. A skilled physician, skeptical of superstition, he had once opened the 4th window at night to smoke a cigarette. Nurse Kate was passing by and saw him. As soon as he opened the window, a strange smoke seemed to come in, and Dr. Johnson froze, his face reflecting terror as though he saw something invisible. Kate left for a while, and when she returned, she found him drenched in sweat, staring at the window. After that night, Dr. Johnson said nothing to anyone, but quietly requested a transfer. 2 weeks before it was approved, his body was found in the hospital courtyard under that same 4th window, eyes wide open. No injuries, but the terrified expression remained, the same Kate had seen that night. After this, Kate told Dean Graham the whole truth. 2 weeks prior, she recalled, Dr. Johnson was on a night shift. I was heading to the restroom when I saw him open the 4th window and light a cigarette. When I returned, he was sitting on the floor in shock, drenched in sweat, staring at it. After that incident, the administration ordered that the 4th window remain closed permanently. Pat went about her daily routine, handling reports and leaving on time. For her, the 4th window was just another corner, nothing more. But one day, due to a shortage of space, she unknowingly placed a table in front of the fourth window with a fresh corpse on it. She had no idea that this small mistake would open the door to a terrifying night. It was a new moon night, and Pat was alone in the morgue. Suddenly, the lights flickered violently. "Why are the lights flickering? The generator is running," she thought. George came in quietly from the door and said, "Ma'am, it's a new moon tonight, and you've placed a table right in front of the fourth window." For the first time, Pat felt a twinge of fear. She looked around, uneasy. Around 2 a.m., in the deep silence of the morgue, a strange rattling sound echoed, as if someone was running their fingers along the window bars. Pat slowly turned and saw the iron bars of the fourth window bending slowly, as though pulled from the outside. "Who's there?" she wondered. She looked outside, but only thick fog and a faint yellow glow were visible, like a candle burning in the distance. Sweat broke out on her forehead, yet she stood her ground, calm but tense. A cold gust of wind swept through, and the sheet covering the corpse fluttered. That night, Pat could not sleep. By morning, her eyes remained fixed on the window. For the first time, she felt that maybe something was always watching. The next day, questions flooded her mind. She first called George over. "George, you've mentioned the fourth window before. Something weird happened last night. Do you really know anything?" "Ma'am, anyone who takes it lightly. It causes trouble. Remember Dr. Johnson, the one who disappeared 2 years ago? He wasn't just missing. I saw that night. He opened the window to smoke. 2 weeks later, he died." Pat didn't fully believe George, but she needed answers. She went straight to Dean Graham's office. "Sir, can you tell me the real story about the fourth window? Did something really happen?" "You asked at the right time, Dr. Sanders. But what you learn won't be easy," he said, rising and gazing toward the window as if recalling the past. "Bodies were never placed there until 8 years ago. A girl named Natalie was murdered, her face disfigured. The family could not identify her, so she was placed on a table under that window without a proper
funeral." "What happened next?" Pat asked.
The doctor on duty disappeared the next day. Only her blood-stained sandals and belt were found beneath the window. Despite extensive searches, the body was never recovered. 6 years later, Nurse Kate told me about Dr. Johnson's story. That's when I ordered the window permanently closed. Pat's face grew serious. She understood that the window was not just bricks and glass. It was a path to someone's pain. AJ had no idea about the window's history. One night, while cleaning, he noticed dust around the fourth window and started scrubbing the bars. The moment his broom touched the metal, a current ran through his body. Nurse Kate, stationed in the corridor, felt a chill but did not notice anything yet. At 2:45 a.m., a blood-curdling scream echoed from the morgue. Kate ran inside. AJ was lying on the floor, eyes wide, mouth frozen in a scream, face pale with terror. It was as if he had seen something unbearable. She looked toward the window. There stood a figure of a woman in a red dress, her face hidden in mist. In the next moment, she vanished. Kate realized AJ had repeated the same mistake Dr. Johnson once made. Dr. Pat, spiritual in her own way, sensed the spirit's pain and resolved to solve the mystery. She convinced Dean Graham to bring in an experienced medium, Father Michael, on the next new moon.
Sitting at the morgue threshold, he prepared a ritual with red candle lines and sacred incense. Pat placed a camera before the fourth window and joined the ritual. At 3 a.m., the chains rattled and a cold wind swept the room. The camera went blank. Then Pat heard, "Give me justice." A shadow appeared, a girl with scorched skin, half-open lips, and blood-stained red dress. Pat stood, tears in her eyes. "I will give you a proper farewell. You will rest in peace. I promise." Father Michael cast the incense over the girl's spirit, and she screamed, releasing years of pain. The temperature returned to normal. The medium whispered to Pat, "Her final release requires proper closure. Until then, her pain continues." The next day, Pat reopened Natalie's case. Through DNA tests and hospital records, she finally traced the girl's family. Tears filled their eyes upon learning the truth. Father Michael handed over the ashes for a proper ritual. A week later, Natalie's funeral was held on the riverside, following all ceremonies. That night, the fourth window closed on its own. No rattling, no shadow. The air was calm, as if someone finally embraced a spirit who had wept for years. The hospital administration hung a protective plaque over the window. Even now, people say some spirits wander until justice is served. The fourth window was more than a window. It was the cry of a soul seeking peace. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to our page, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and share your own stories in the comments. Your story could be the next animated
Feature we bring to life.